Hello everybody, welcome back to C&S Corvettes. It's Lyle, your Corvette buddy, here to talk about some interesting, exciting, and fun things in the Corvette world. Before I get started, I want to direct you to the video we released earlier this week. My son and I attended the HSR Historic Races, the 24-hour classic at Daytona International Speedway last weekend. And I put a lot of effort into taking pictures and getting some great video clips of some of these classic race cars in the garage, going around the racetrack at Daytona. And for whatever reason, YouTube decided that that wasn't a video they wanted to promote. So if you enjoy old car racing, all the way up to Cadillac DPIs and stuff, check out that video. We're very proud of it. Our production guy, Tony here, put together a really beautiful montage of all that stuff. So if you like the sights and sound of historic racing, by all means, check it out. It didn't get pushed out to enough people. So if you're interested in that, go find it. Now, today, I've got some new products to talk to you about. We'll get started right now. Well, guys, at Corvette Carlisle this year, I got to talk to a bunch of our normal vendors that we've been dealing with for years about some of the newer products that they were introducing or had previously introduced that I was unaware of. The ones we're going to be focusing on today, I am particularly excited about, and they focus on the C5, and there's one that's C4, but it's one that everybody who has a C4 coupe probably needs. Let's first focus on one of the items that I feel almost every C5 I see in here could use, and it's right here in this black bag. In this bag is a brand new reproduction leather C5 steering wheel. Everything you need. The airbag just snaps into it like it does a factory wheel. It's the original aluminum construction. Really nice quality leather wheel. I see so many of these wheels come in here on cars where the wheels are almost like shiny plastic, that the leather's so worn or the leather's actually started to go away. And while there are a ton of aftermarket wheels out there, they tend to be pretty pricey. So these guys I have in stock right now, and we've installed one on our car and it fits and works great. I will tell you, getting a C5 wheel, original wheel, off of your car, if it's never been removed, can be a real chore. I highly recommend that you contract a mechanic or a shop to do that for you, because it takes a special puller, and even then, getting that wheel off, it can be a real task. So it's not necessarily something you want to tackle at home. But once the old wheel's off, this one goes on. Certainly works very, very well. We have these on our website and ready to ship, free shipping anywhere in the United States, for $147.18. Now, I know that's a weird price, but I tried to keep it as low as possible, and the extra few cents, extra few pennies, pay for the shipping insurance so that you and I are both covered once we give this to UPS, FedEx, or whomever. So, 97 to 04, exact reproduction steering wheels, $147.18 on our website. If you own a C5, I'm sure you recognize this part. This is your shifter plate / radio bezel / AC control bezel / cup holder / ashtray / a lot of things that are really important. And these tend to get pretty ragged over the years. Not only in their appearance, because they have kind of like a soft touch feel to them, but they also tend to get brittle and break down here where they screw down to the center console, the actual tunnel. The other places that they fail are these tabs that kind of tuck up under your dash to keep this flush, and these guide pins here like to break off with age. Now, the nice thing about this is this one is made specifically to fit the stock radio. You can go all over the internet and find these for double din and all kinds of aftermarket radios, but there is really only one place, these guys, who make an exact reproduction to fit your original radio. So if you're trying to keep your car original, or if you don't plan on changing your stereo or upgrading to a larger unit, this is the option to freshen up the way your interior looks and to solve the brittle plastic problem that plagues these over time. Now this does come complete with the cup holder door. The little rubber insert is in there. We also have the ashtray door for your 12 volt and for your ashtray insert that goes in here. Another place that these tend to break while we're looking at this is there's a screw hole here and a screw hole here to help hold this in the car. With, again, the brittle plastic, these connection points can break, as well as this screw hole here, right above your inside ambient air temperature sensor. This is a very large component of your interior. You look at it every time you get in the car, you're constantly interacting with it. And if yours is looking a bit ratty, the good news is this is basically take your old one out, put your new one in, and it's good to go. You don't have to modify anything. There's no customization. This is a plug and play part. We have these on our website for $151.24, shipped anywhere in the United States. It's a high quality item. I just put one in my car because this clip had broken on mine, and it was always kind of, hanging away from the radio face about that much, which granted, not exactly a disaster, but my OCD would just scream at me every time I got in the car. Since I put this in, that problem's gone. And the sheen is nice, and it just looks fresh. So this is a big item. To be able to ship it anywhere in the United States for that price, you know that I am trying to keep this as reasonable as possible. Yes, I want to make money on this, but I also want to get as many people to be able to refresh the interior of their car without having to spend a ton of money. So 97 to 04 stock radio shifter bezel, 151.24. I have to keep looking at my cheat sheet. Link in the description below the video if you want to buy one. The third and final C5 part that I'm introducing today is one that if you have had a C5 for a while, you probably know exactly what this is, because these guys, man, they are falling apart with age like you wouldn't believe. And they're important. They do a lot of important things. Number one, you have this plastic housing back here with the screw holes that your fog light and trunk release mounts into, and there's also a screw hole here to screw it to the dash. These also, from the factory with age, break. This piece is separate from this piece, and they're bonded here. This breaks, and then this drops, and then there's no bringing it back. The other place that these tend to break is this screw hole right here. This is the ambient air temperature sensor, and this screw hole holds it to the dash, and when this breaks, nothing wants to fit right. This is a very nice unit. It is covered in black vinyl. It has the rubber gasket for the steering column here. It's an exact reproduction. It is very well made. It is not cheap. It's got the pop-in retainer clips that snap into your dash, and the screw holes at the bottom that your two little screws go through to secure it to the underside of your dashboard are present. Now, this is only made in black vinyl. However, if you have light oak or you have the gray or whatever, this can be dyed. The vinyl can be dyed to match any color that's in your car. If you do decide that you want to get this part and your interior is not black, you can locate the interior dye that matches your existing interior at Corvette America. They sell it in rattle cans, and you'll want to do primer on it, which they also sell, and then a rattle can full of the color, and you can dye this fabric to light oak, to gray, to torch red, whatever you want. But this piece, I'll tell you what, if you haven't had to replace this piece or haven't had to try to gin up some kind of fix to solve the weak plastic after 20 years on this piece, you've been very fortunate, because most of us have. But this piece in its entirety is $191.84 shipped anywhere in the US. Now, I did check out some of the other vendors who are selling this. They're up well over $275 to $325. And gosh, I think that's great for them. But I want you guys to be able to fix your cars without having to spend a ton of money. So I'm not making much on this, but I'm doing it so that you guys have access to this, are aware of this. And if this is a problem in your car, you can solve it during the holidays, while the car is put up for the winter, or anytime you wish, for not a lot of money. I am very excited that somebody finally made this and made it as well as they did. because this is a problem that all C5s have or are going to have. Their next project is going to be the glove box door, which we all know that's having the same problems with the plastic falling apart, and that can be catastrophic. It'll just fall out and end up on the floor. For now, this is the product that exists on the left-hand side. When the right-hand side becomes available, you will be the very first to know. Again, link in the description below if you'd like to buy one. Now moving on to the one new C4 part that I have. This one, again, this is one of those, if you're in the Corvette hobby, you have a C4 Coupe, this is a part that you're going to recognize. This is the rear deck. It's a 3-piece set. I know it's kind of hard to get it all on camera here. This is the 3-piece rear deck trim at the back of your car. You open up your rear hatch. When you look down, right here is the lever to release your top if it's in storage. These are almost always cracked from heat, UV exposure, and age. Now, I know that there was a company that was making these basically out of a vacuum mold, where it was a solid replacement, but it wasn't like an exact reproduction. This, in fact, is an exact reproduction of the original. It does fit 84 through 96 Corvette Coupes. And let's go through some of the detail on this. It has all the correct rubber bumpers in place, which we're almost always missing 1 or 2 of these in an original car. This comes with all brand new ones. They're all correct size and shape. You also have the nice rubber kind of spacer gasket in here for the movement of your top retention lever. Oftentimes those are rotted and missing on original cars. The screw holes, it's hard to tell, but they, as from the factory, they're actually radiused out for strength back here, and they've actually been improved over the original for strength long term. So as you can tell, this is a pretty big piece, and if you look, you'll see I've got these tabs on each end. Well, that's where, let me see if I can find a way to do this while it's still on camera. These pieces, I'm doing that wrong. Here we go. This piece locks into this piece like such, and then this screw holds everything together around. So this is a nice smooth going up to this area where it screws into your car, and this is where the ball stud for your hatch strut is, and then your little retainer plate for your pull cover is actually under here, and that'll already be in your car. As you can tell, this is a very large assembly, which is why it was broken down into 3 parts originally. Everything fits together really well about this. This is not a difficult item to replace. All you need is a screwdriver, some sort of brace to hold the window, the rear hatch open while you're working on it, because obviously to access these holes, you're going to have to take the struts off of those ball studs so you can get these into place. And basically you're going to be able to use the screws that you already have. You're just going to put these new panels into place. And when you open the back of your car, you're going to be able to look at nice, fresh, well-made, it's got a nice texture to it, plastic, instead of that broken, kind of faded out piece of plastic that's there. This 3-piece set, I know that I think it's Zip or Corvette America or somebody's selling these for $179 plus shipping. So shipping on this, as you can imagine, this is a fairly large box, and larger boxes cost more to ship. So while I am able to discount this a little bit, I'm selling this on my website for $171.54 shipped anywhere in the country. So you're already saving 20, 30 bucks over our competitors. Thankfully, because of the relationships that I have with the people who make this stuff, I'm able to be a little more competitive. I also don't have the overhead that some of the great big places do because we're tiny. But if you have a C4 Coupe and this has been driving you nuts for years, here is your answer. Take about an hour to change out all 3 pieces and you'll be very happy with the results. Again, link below in the description if you wish to purchase this. I almost forgot. There's one other item that we have for the C5 that I should have done at the beginning of this video, but I didn't, but I'm doing it now. This one, if you have a heads-up display, this is the bezel that goes on top of that. Now, there are plenty of people out there who are selling the repair kit. Now, so what happens with these is with age, they crack, they start to fall apart. A lot of people are using the kind of 3M tape and stick-on cover that goes on top of the original bezel. Because the downside to this bezel is, because it is original, you have to actually take the dash out of the car to replace it. This is not a job you're going to do in 15 minutes. In fact, this is a job you do if you're going to have the dash out of the car anyway. But the problem with the ones that stick on is, if this is broken up bad enough from original and it's in 8 pieces, well, you can imagine if you're actually taping a solid piece to 8 broken pieces, that's not going to last real long, because that's going to continue to degrade under there. You're going to end up having to do this at some point anyway. And this costs about 1/3 of what the repair kits cost. So more effort to install, yes, but this is made to original. In fact, it's even got the little bit of felt right here to prevent any vibration as you're going down the road. And it has the actual reinforced studs that go through the top of the dash and are held on with those retainer pins. This piece is not expensive. Delivered to your door anywhere in the United States, you're talking $34.53. Again, for a quality made product that is exact reproduction, that is inexpensive. Now, again, this is going to require more work than just slapping the stick-on repair over your original. But if you truly want to solve the problem permanently, and you're going to have the dash out anyway, this is your answer right here, because it's going to fit in the holes and go exactly as the original factory unit did. Again, $34.53. Link in the description below if you need it for your car. And that's pretty much the new items that I have for you guys. I've actually had these here since August, but if you've been keeping up with us, we've been kind of busy with some crazy nature stuff and just overwhelming business. These guys are all here. I have them in stock. The manufacturers also said if we do get a huge response where the ones I have aren't enough, they have plenty in stock and they're willing to drop ship within 1 day at no additional charge. So no matter where the stock comes from, you're going to be handled. If you need one of these, it's going to go out quickly and it'll arrive to your house safely. And of course, it's covered by the C&S Corvette's warranty. No questions asked. It's going to work, it's going to fit, or you get your money back, because we've tested this stuff and we already know it does. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. Thank you for watching.